back, Sure Gamblers and Hedge Funders. This is Northern Gaming Network's Tag Me Videocast. We're talking about the source. I'm Alex.
I'm Matt.
And we're just going to get right into it. But wait, no we're not.
No, we're not.
So instead...
Well, we're going to explain the thing that we're doing.
Oh, are we? Oh, that's a good idea.
Because we're going to talk about the runner side of this pack. And, as always, for those of you that know, we get ratings for these cards from our local metagame, and then we rank them from the worst card to the best, so that you get to experience all the ups and downs of Netrunner.
That's right, because you haven't looked at these cards yet, and you're just getting fresh insight.
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Fresh insight after the pack's been out for a month.
Yeah.
Before we begin, though.
That's right. Pause the video for a second, scroll down, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, so you can listen to all our shenanigans and argue about cards. Comment down below.
Comment, chameleon.
Now who's off track? Or just off key?
A little off key.
Now we're going to talk about the runner cards. We've done the corporation cards, and if you want to see that video, there will be a link somewhere. Perhaps.
There. So
Right,
you're going to kick us off with the first one, right?
I'll kick us off with Au revoir.
Oh.
It is the worst card in our meta's opinion from the source. A 1-cost program, 1 MU, gain 1 credit whenever you jack out. So, do you have anything to say about Au revoir, or we're just going to say Au revoir to Au revoir?
Card number 7 in this pack is I suck today.
And I think it says I suck today. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Probably accurate. Carry on.
This is a 1-cost, 1 MU program for the Anarch faction. It's a program virus. Whenever the corp loses at least 1 credit, gain 1 credit. Trash exoc today if the corp purges virus counters. And it costs 2 influence. So
it digs deeper than its Alabama counterpart.
Yes. The only thing you can really say in the defense of this card is that it is yet another 1-cost virus for Noise. I don't think it is superior in any way to any of the established viruses that Noise runs. And it doesn't really do anything that Noise wants to do. Noise isn't a taxing deck.
Yeah, you're not probably going to do much about this with, not Vamp. Is it Vamp? Pay credits to... Yeah,
Pay credits to cost them credits?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to really make or break Vamp run.
No, because...
And that's the only thing I can think of.
Then you gain the 1 credit.
Yeah, like you gain 1. So it's going to make Vamp a little bit cheaper, sort of.
A little
not cheaper,
but it'll offset the cost in a way. In the same way Ken offsets the cost of bribery.
Right, but I mean it's not...
Wait, we haven't gotten to bribery yet.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But it doesn't actually do anything that the Anarch is trying to do, and you're never going to build a virus rig out of Shaper or Crim. So, until we see Anarchs coming in the next cycle, because we've seen the Order and Chaos Anarchs, and none of them really play with viruses. Yeah. None of them do anything.
Well, let's just keep that in the current meta. Like, what's this card going to do right now? And I think that's the case. It's another 1-cost virus.
It's another 1-cost virus.
But
they already have a plethora.
You're running a 45-card deck. So yeah. This has got no place for it.
Absolutely.
So, on to criminal card.
Another criminal card.
The other criminal card in this pack is Bribery. It is a cost X event type run. Make a run. During this run, the corp must pay X credits as an additional cost to res the first unresed piece of ice approached. So,
oh my god, this card is so much worse than I thought.
Wow.
I thought it was each unresed piece of ice.
No.
I already thought it was bad, thinking it was each.
Oh, no. If it was each, that would actually be pretty decent.
So, make a run. That's great text.
That's stuff.
It's fine text.
It's another run event to throw in your Ken Tenma deck.
I don't think it is, though.
But, I mean, you could. Prepaid Ken.
You could.
It gets you kind of... It's sort of like, you're going to do the run anyways. There's some unresed ice. If you want to have more events in your deck, then you've gotten pretty chocked, full of events, which is pretty hard not to have it chocked full of events because there's plenty out there. But listen me out here.
Okay.
You've got another one that is not. So if you're running a prepaid deck, you haven't used those prepaid credits this turn. You could just use them here to get a couple extra taxing on the corp, and you're gonna get your Kentema credit. I don't know what else this is really gonna be good for, but I think that is also why it is only the third worst card or the
Sixth best
card in the pack, because it is still a little better than I Suck Today. And it is definitely better than Au Revoir.
Yeah, Au Revoir, which actually does nothing.
This
at least makes a run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Card number 5 on the runner side is Collective Consciousness, which is a 2-cost 2MU Shaper program. Draw 1 card whenever the corp reses a piece of ice, and it costs 2 influence to splash. This card isn't very good. But this card could theoretically be quite good if your opponent were, say, shooting the moon.
All programs are connected. The data that runs through one runs through all.
Yes.
It penetrates us, binds us.
Not a good enough reason to use the word penetrate. Collective Consciousness is the kind of card that you host on a daemon. And even then, it probably only draws you 2 or 3 cards unless you're playing against a really ice-heavy deck, such as Next Ice or Blue Sun. Blue Sun reses a lot of ice over the course of a game.
That's true. They do, because they tend to install, res, pick it up, get the money, install, res, pick it up.
Even NEH, they have a lot cheap ice, so they
Cheap
can res
ice.
multiple ice.
Yeah, which doesn't matter what the
in
cost
bursts.
is, you're still drawing cards. It's the same effect either way.
Yeah, because this doesn't say the first time each turn, it's just whenever.
Whenever. So if they res 3 ice in a run, you draw 3 cards.
That said,
I do like that you can draw on the corpse turn, like for Blue Sun, for instance.
Yeah, see, I like that.
If you're doing the Eliza's Toy Box, and they're resing a piece
or
of
the
ice,
OAI
or
or
OAI or what have you,
Yeah.
then you can draw some cards off that. It would be good if you could draw this right away, so if you wanted to test run it or something, like.
Sure.
But I feel like there's better things to test run.
That's the thing, right?
So,
like,
I
it's
think
a fine card.
and if you want some card draw, Astrolabe.
Or
Or a later card that we'll talk
a
about
later
this pack.
card in this pack,
So in
which
that
is
case,
much better card draw.
then in that case, let's move on.
Absolutely.
So the next card in our pack, this is number 4, so into the top 4 of the 8 that's in that
Top
pack
half.
anyways. This is a program, it is a green program. Sage, 4 cost, 0 strength. Icebreaker, Decoder, Fractor. I think that's the first kind. That's both.
It
have
is
another
the
one?
first icebreaker, I'm pretty sure, that is both
Decoder
these
and
things.
Fractor. It is 2 memory, but being both, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, here's the kicker. Sage has +1 strength for each unused MU. So there's no pump to this icebreaker. And it is 2 credits to break a code gate or barrier subroutine.
So what do you think about Sage, really?
I actually kind of think it's a neat card. It'd be tough you really have to build around it. Because there's things like, I heard an idea of Dinosaurus it with, somebody was talking about that, I don't know. I forget. And then have other daemons involved, so you can keep that unused memory. I think the only safe bet here is Chaos Theory, so your +1 memory.
Yeah.
Because it's going to have a hard time breaking. You could probably get this up to a strength 4 or 5 pretty easily. But you still have to deal with the 2 credits to break. So you could go with an E3 type option there.
Yeah.
Get a plus, only use 1 more credit to go through. So that's the thing. How about you? Anything especially you want to say about it? You don't really like it.
I don't really like it. I don't think that it's...
It's not groundbreaking. It is.
I think it is groundbreaking. I think it's a flagship. I think it's a bad one.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I guess it's
the
not
fact
like,
that it is both
I
or
don't think
2
it's
of the 3 types of icebreaker.
Yeah.
The fact that it does play with the unused MU lets you maybe toy around with the Echo Mind strategy, but it's expensive in that deck.
Yeah, if you're going to throw in an Echo Mind deck, it's 3 influence, so you're
3
going to
influence
limit
is a
yourself
lot.
to to that. So.
But that's I think the best way to abuse something like this. It's better than Overmind if you can get it to work, because it isn't limited in that way.
That's true. If you have good, strong economy.
Yeah.
In an Overmind, you know what? I might give this a go. In the Overmind, just to see what happens, because I think I've got room to deal with that influence. All right, so let's move on to Code Siphon. Take it away.
Code Siphon is our third consecutive Shaper card from this pack. It is an event, cost 0. It is a run type. Make a run on R&D. If successful, instead of accessing cards, you may search your stack for a program and install it, lowering the install cost by 3 for each piece of ice protecting R&D, and then take 1 tag. Shuffle your stack. This isn't going to be the thing that finds you your icebreakers in the mid-game or whatever. Turn 1, turn 2, maybe this finds you the Silver Bullet Garrote or something you might be running. But as a general rule, this finds you your late-game Silver Bullet programs. Your Sharpshooter if you're running against that. Your Deus Ex if you want one. It's just another tutor in a faction that is already wealthy with tutors. This one...
and impossible to splash.
Virtually impossible to splash.
Virtually impossible to splash.
Test run is 3, this is 4. I would always take
this
test run.
This is the account siphon for Shapers, quote unquote.
It is.
But it is not even remotely as effective. And the influence is ridiculous.
Are we sure it's not as effective?
I do not believe it is as effective as Account Siphon.
Account Siphon isn't seeing as much play now
because people are prepared for it.
Because corps are playing poor, as a general rule.
Or
they're preparing HQ earlier.
Yes. That being said...
I don't know if there's anything right now that's worth tutoring for in the mid-game.
Right.
But this is a card that has an insane amount of potential. I like Code Siphon. I don't love it. I think it's a unique effect in Runner. Like, they have a lot of make a run on R&D effects. But in general, their tutors and their run effects don't really congregate too much.
Together.
Whereas this is a nice blending of the two.
That means a small rig shaper.
This is way more economical than self-modifying code.
Yeah,
if you can get
one
in
click
cheaply.
instead of 2 clicks.
Self-modifying code doesn't cost
not a click. That's right.
It's just a trash. But it's a mandatory 2 credits extra.
Yeah.
Whereas this, if you can get into R&D very cheaply, then this is much more economical than self-modifying code.
Yep.
That said, I don't think it takes the place of self-modifying code.
I don't think so.
Alright, you want to take the next card?
I'll take the next card. Next card is a 3-cost, 1 MU program from the Anarch faction. It is Incubator. It's a virus. Second best card in this pack from the runners. When your turn begins, place 1 virus counter on Incubator, like most viruses tend to be. Click and trash, move all virus counters from Incubator onto another installed virus program. I don't care what Fakespeare has to say about it, but I think this is a pretty good card. I think it'll find its way into some noise decks, and
yes, some, not all.
I don't think it's going to make it all of them, but I think it's going to replace some other viruses they may have.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want to install more than one of these. I would say a noise deck that's making some money, which is a little bit easier these days, because it is 3 to install it, and you're going to trash it, so you're going to want to install more than one of them in a game if you plan to use this ability. Which, if you're not planning to use this ability, I wouldn't use it, because it's not a one
Deja
cost.
Vu.
Deja Vu, but that means it's going to cost you 5 and 2 clicks to get this back out.
Maybe, but...
Well, that's what Deja Vu does.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's true, but that's not necessarily bad.
Right.
Because 5 and 2 clicks is this. It's only a little bit worse than 3 and 1 click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a little bit worse.
Because
and you know,
because you also get a cache with that too.
Yeah.
You also get a second virus.
Yeah.
I feel as though this card's a little bit slow for the way noise decks want to run right now. They tend to be fairly spammy these days.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more of a slow burn noise card.
And I think that's good. I think that it widens the range
that
you can do things with.
So that's really good with medium.
Medium.
Nerve Agent.
Yeah, any kind of...
Much better with medium than Nerve Agent.
Absolutely. You could use a little bit of Surge. You made the point earlier that Surge will become better with other things later.
Yes.
But those are spoilers. That's not the current meta because we don't have one of those cards.
Check out episode 3 of the Tag Me podcast for more information on those spoilers.
And yeah, I don't think we have to really talk too much about Incubator. It's cool. It's got a really great graphic. I think this is Code Siphon looked like a lot of effort, but I think that Incubator's got the best graphic from the runners. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Incubator is probably the best. It's clean and it's very evocative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice art.
So good job by oh man, I'm gonna butcher this name. So good job, artist.
In short, this card will definitely see play, but it isn't going to change the game.
No, it's not a game changer. And I think we talked about that. The source being a very flat pack and kind of
most things are playable.
Fill some stuff out.
Most
it out,
things don't.
that sort of thing. Why don't you talk about the number 1 card from the runners?
I like this card very much. This is Earthrise Hotel. It is a unique 4-cost resource location Ritzy. Place 3 power counters on Earthrise Hotel when it is installed. When there are no power counters left on Earthrise Hotel, trash it. When your turn begins, draw 2 cards and remove 1 power counter from Earthrise Hotel. This is so much better than Wildside, it can't even really be compared.
Yeah.
It's not permanent. Wildside is permanent. Every turn it draws you 2 cards.
Well, the other thing too is you don't lose a click here.
That's the key, is that it doesn't lose you the click. You draw your 2 cards, and then you have your 4 clicks, 5 if you're playing some certain Anarch cards. But you get 6 cards for the price of your 4 credits and 2 clicks, because you have to draw it and you have to play it. But 6 cards.
I don't like that argument of having to draw it, but...
I mean, that's the argument everybody's making.
Anyways.
Everybody makes that argument that it costs you an extra click to draw it.
You're drawing it anyways.
But you're drawing cards anyways. You're right. So 4 cost.
Yeah.
Let's ignore the click component.
Yeah.
What completely? 4 cost, because every card costs a click.
Especially if we're comparing it to
Wildside. It's way more economical than Wildside.
Way more.
And it draws you 6 cards. So compared to Quality Time, which for 1 less draws you 1 fewer card, but it draws them in a burst. So you wind up trashing a bunch of cards. This draws them to you more like a drip. So you get 2 cards every turn for 3 turns. And you probably drew another Earthrise Hotel during that time.
And if you're playing Aesop's Pawn Shop, you get some money back because it doesn't go away.
Yes, it does.
Or does it?
Yes, it does. Sad.
Oh, it does trash it. Damn it.
I know.
Oh.
It would be so good if it didn't go away.
Yeah.
And then you could get $3 too. Then
Which,
it would cost you
arguably
1.
speaking...
No, but, okay.
If you paid 1 to draw 4, or for 2 turns, because you could trash it on your other turn with Aesop's with 1 power counter still on it.
Well, you could actually trash it on the same turn as you drew your 3rd and 4th card.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 cost 4 cards.
Yeah, so that's another option.
Is that not just Diesel? Essentially? Over 2 turns?
Right, but there's no influence.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's an option.
Yeah. It
So
just costs
some
you more
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, some ideas.
There are some ways of playing with this with Aesop's Pawn Shop.
There is a
A
variety.
lot of people are really excited about playing this alongside the Supplier.
Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely.
Like, it's just like you take an extra turn, but you get it for 2 cheaper. Nice.
Very nice.
There are just a lot of ways of using this card very effectively in, I think, every faction. Even Shaper can use consistent card draw. They have a lot of burst card draw, but they don't have a lot of drip. Professional Contacts draws you a bunch of cards, but they cost you a click each. Diesel, Quality Time, draw you cards in bursts. This may not be a Shaper card per se, but even so, in Shaper, with the right deck, if you're looking for this effect, it's a very good way of getting it.
Definitely the most versatile in this pack because it gives you, there's so many different ways you can actually play with this card.
That's the real key, though, is that every other card in this pack, it begs you to play in a very specific way to get an effect out of the card. Earthrise Hotel is just generically good, which I think is why it'll become a staple.
Yeah. So I think...
it's the only staple.
If it wasn't for the theme of my Quetzal deck, which is coked out Quetzal...
Sure, yeah.
I would put it in there, but it's too ritzy for
It's too
for a
ritzy.
coked out
You
Quetzal.
gotta go to Duggars.
It's gotta be Wild Side or Duggars.
Yeah.
Right now
that's
it's Wild Side actually. So
Earthrise Hotel seems better than both.
Earthrise Hotel is a little too ritzy if you're all coked out with inject. If you're injecting all the time and hanging out in Wild Side.
You love flavor too much.
It's so
At the
tasty,
expense of viability, I think.
though. Why do you play the game? Tell us below in the comments down below why you like to play this game. Is it just to win? Like you just want to play tournaments all the time and beat everybody else? Or do you like to do some unique stuff? So we look forward to reading some of your comments about why you guys play Netrunner, and maybe we'll discuss those in the podcast on northerngamingnetwork.com/tagme. And what else can we do? We might make some maybe comment about that on Northern Gaming Network on Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook.com/Northern Gaming Network. And you can even tweet it to us if you don't want to comment down below if you're like anti-comment videos at NorthGameNet on Twitter.
You can also email the website at northerngamingnet@gmail.com.
If you're in 95 and still use emails.
I use email.
I'm just chirping. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Alex.
I'm Matt.
Till next time, play worse decks. I'm always right. He's always Matt.
Run last
Run
click.
last click, and there's no such thing as bad publicity. Runners, stay frosty.